What? Oh, I don't. What? Okay. Whoa. Okay. What is going on here? Okay. Well,
It's
I don't
12:43,
know.
and I've got 4 in a row for you.
What's this lady's name?
Hot mama, hot mama, hot mama.
Okay.
Also known as Hot Mama Adrian Hot Mama Barbeau.
Okay. Wait, that's her movie name or her actual name?
That's it. Yes, her actual name is Adrian Hot Mama Barbeau. That's her name. The character's name is Stevie Wayne.
Okay, that's what. All right. That's like the national something's going on in a horror movie music.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna be hung up in his office with the book in his hand.
Yeah. I thought you said you hadn't seen this.
I haven't seen this. But I've seen enough movies with books that are forbidden that the person who finds the book never lives. Usually.
Jesus.
Bruh.
I love
Like,
that.
That's
Her
how
response is great. Jesus.
Like that's how I'm trying to pull up on people. Just pop out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm fucking lazy. You wouldn't catch me walking up and down those fucking stairs every day.
No, look at that fucking shit, man. Every time I watch this movie, I think that there's no goddamn way you get me to walk all them fucking steps every day.
I would say I'm so lazy. I don't even want to watch her walk down all those steps.
Oh shit.
God, yeah, no way. You're out of your mind. I'd be late to work every day.
I would just walk down there and never fucking leave. I'm like, I'm not doing those stairs going up.
Yeah.
Like, do we got like some type of Wi-Fi remote access?
I'm going to call Dr. Thaden and ask him to just drop by. I think you're taking all of this much too seriously.
We're all cursed, Mrs. Williams.
There's our crazy Ralph, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're all cursed.
Okay. Like, this is just not okay. Whatever's happening right now.
I mean, this is perfectly normal.
No more like a millstone, a plumbing stone, by God.
Whoa. That is not what that said a second ago. See, I told you back in the day, you didn't dress like a kid. You just dressed like your parents.
It's so true.
Like what kid you know walking around dressed like that?
No, I know, right?
You're speaking truth.
I love you, Andy. Me too, Mom. Bye.
I love you, Andy. Me too. I love myself too.
Yeah, that was the sound of fuck you, bitch.
I love me too. That's right.
Love it.
I'm still laughing about the dressing like your parents comment.
He came around that corner like he was getting ready to answer the phone and had to pay a mortgage. Like I didn't.
Nightlife. So let's get down to business.
This is celebrating music.
I was getting ready to say,
kind of morose.
So look at that. Like he been thinking like,
okay, if I don't pay Amazon Prime this month, I can.
Oh my God.
How much do I really need Hulu?
These are very serious questions as well.
Very
Like,
true.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in every movie on this podcast. Everybody like, you know you want to look at me.
I'll tell you what happened. It just got cold.
Come on, girl, check me out. You know you want to look at me.
Hmm.
Just a little peek. Yeah. Oh, no, sir. No, thank you.
Whoop.
Does she have on Converse?
Sure
I know
kinda
that's not
looks
the
like
most
it.
important thing right now, but
You remember last October?
1980 Chuck Taylors were probably pretty popular.
Yeah.
I'm just having a newfound respect for Jamie Lee Curtis. Just never.
I get it.
Right now.
Oh my God. He loves her. Even though he just met her yesterday. 3. Oh, well, yeah, because 3 of those guys. Yep, there was 3. And it said 6 of them must happen.
Let's die.
6 must happen. That was a much longer piece of board.
6 must experience the tragedy of no longer being alive. It's like, that's a long ass board, bro. Like, you gotta start sliding it over to the left a little bit so you can keep seeing it.
He spent all this money on this tracking shot. I was thinking something a little more. All it did was go across the fucking big ass board for like 13 seconds.
Some asshole got drunk and started taking this 100-year-old business too seriously.
Push. Take your time.
Considering you'll have fire in your hands.
Take your time, but kind of hurry up too.
Andy,
Fuck that 45-year-old dressing kid.
why did all the lights go out?
Oh, one of the lions are probably down, Andy.
Why'd she say it like that?
Andy.
Andy. Why you don't like hanging out with her? Get away from me, ma'am. Well, one of the lines are probably cut, Andy.
Hello?
She seemed like a lady that would call him Andrew. Like, well, call him that. Well, that's his name.
Andrew.
Well, that's his name. No, my name is Andy. And is simply short for Andrew Williford III.
Well, you're fucked.
Not the kid, but the grandma is. What?
Someone listen to me! My son is trapped! 887 White Beach Lane, my son is trapped by the fog! Andy, get out of the house! Run!
Just losing her whole job. Just.
Look at this!
Yeah, no shit. It's a good thing she owns the radio station.
Yeah, just losing your whole job. Like they cutting your whole station down. They just shutting it off.
Just leave it alone.
Please, someone! My son is trapped!
He's actually pretty safe, honestly. Based on how we've seen how this works. If they can't get in there, he's pretty all right.
Please, my son is trapped.
Oh man, they get this kid, it's over. They can go home.
Someone get to 887 White Beach Lane. This is cool, Briz.
So this is the one time they break the rules. Like any other time, they just was like, wait for somebody to let me in. Now that they get this kid, they don't care. They're like,
Well, I mean, they were already let in by the old fucking lady. Stupid, dumb bitch.
I know why she opened the doors, beyond me. Maybe she needed Antonio Bay insurance.
Maybe.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Yeah, but think of how tired they're gonna be by the time they get down them steps. She'll be all right, really. They're gonna knock on the door and be like, "Give me a minute."
Father, where's the...
Do you have it?
I have your gold.
I ordered a ham sandwich too. Blake looks fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Heels for the win, baby.
Right.
Never leave the house without him. See, if she was Peter Parker, this would be no problem.
Your gold, Blake.
Just perch right up on the top.
Stole it from you. I'm Father Malone. Take me.
So these guys were pirates.
They were on a boat.
With
I wouldn't
a
call
bunch
them
of gold.
necessarily pirates with a bunch of gold. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's gonna melt his hands off. Well. So let mercy come and wash away what I... It's just the way they stood up.
Yeah.
We don't know where they went, but we do know when they come back, we will be ready. What I Oh my gosh. Get one of these cigarettes out. Had quite the day. Think I earned this one.
It has been a doozy.
going away?
You don't say, Andy.
Andy.
Andy. I mean, the grandma kind of deserves what she got just for saying his name like that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Did they say if this was like a how often this happened, or was this the first time in like 100
This
something
was
years?
100 years.
Okay.
100 years after the deed.
Yeah, because this is a 100-year anniversary of the birth of the town. 100 years after these people were murdered.
Find ourselves safe in our beds.
I say birth of the town, but
To the ships at sea.
the
who
town
can
was
hear my
established,
voice.
but whatever.
Look across the water.
Well, what about what I need to look for the fog for? He got this thing. He's done. He's gone.
Is he?
Is he really?
I mean, no, it's a horror movie. They're never gone. But
yeah.
But in this particular area, I think I'm good. We were just playing. We still need to kill you. Wink. Oh.
That's one way to end the movie.
So they left, but they was like, no, you still needed to die. Like, you was right. I don't know why that guy interfered. Just
This is We're Gonna Make You Watch.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of We're Gonna Make You Watch. I am Brian. With me as always are my good friends Isaiah and Warren. And in this episode, we introduced Warren to the John Carpenter classic, The Fog, from 1980. But before we get too deep into that, how have you guys been the past couple weeks?
Pretty good. Had my vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my fat ass as I'm sitting here trying to eat something while
Hey,
doing
same,
this.
buddy.
Anyways, so had my vacation. That was nice and relaxing. I didn't do shit. I played Destiny the whole time. Maxed out my season rank within 2.5 days, so I hit 100.
Sweet, Jesus.
by Thursday night. I had hit 100. I basically did that the whole time, and then I went back to work. Watched a few different movies, but nothing really of any real note. And then went to the cabin this past weekend. Beyond that, it's been kind of uneventful. And yeah, I mean, not really a whole lot going on my end.
All right. That's okay though. Warren.
pretty much the same. Was playing Destiny. Also hit max rank on the season pass, but it was because I spent money. I wasn't playing nearly as much as yeah. I am I spent a lot of time unlocking a bunch of stuff, but I'm still like nowhere near probably what a lot of people have been able to get to, especially as far as power level. I'm
Okay.
Yeah.
1970 something. But I was able to do that new mission, the dual Destiny mission, where you get the new class item. That was pretty cool. Unique thing that they did there. It's a 2-player mission only, and you have to have 2 people.
Oh, so no solo, huh?
No, it's impossible to solo it unless somebody finds a way to break the game.
Right.
Because you literally need another person. One operates light, the other one operates dark, and then you have to kind of communicate on symbols and different things. It was almost like a mini raid, I would argue.
I would agree.
Okay.
I haven't finished that yet. I got me and the guy that I was doing it with did it for about an hour, and we never got anywhere. And then I had to go, and then I haven't really been back to play since then. So,
Yeah,
I'm still unfinished with that. I've done everything else basically. We did the day 1 raid. Got maybe halfway through the first encounter on that before we gave up, and then I've done everything else. I mean, I'm at like 1998 light level currently.
Jesus.
And basically have everything else done. I don't have that exotic trace rifle yet though, but yeah.
Ooh, I have that.
Well,
I
then
have that.
You got one up on me then, so
I felt like Cap. I know that one. But yeah, but part of that is just my time has been split between this and the Division 2. I've been really digging that lately and playing a bunch of that. So I've been working on getting maxed out on that. Just hit rank 40, level 40 on Division 2.
Did they update that or something?
They did just do a update. Well, first off, it's like $15 right now for the Ultimate Warlords of New York edition. Very,
Okay.
very cheap for anyone who may be interested in that. If you were like wanting to, and it was free. I think it's still free until tomorrow to play. Tomorrow or Tuesday, free to play. You just get on like Ubisoft Connect and just
Now,
download
for
it and
our
play it.
listeners, it's not free no more.
Oh, okay. Well, as I'm telling you guys, it's free to play.
Right.
It's free to play weekend. But they did do an update now where they've gone to one end game, is what they call it, because there used to be a paywall. You used to have Warlords of New York to have the ability to go from level 30 to level 40, and then there are some activities that are over in there because it takes place in a different city. The original game takes place in Washington, D.C., and then the DLC obviously takes place in New York. And so there were some activities that were over there that you can only do in New York. So if you didn't have the DLC, you couldn't do them. But now they've done away with that requirement to hit level 40. You can just get to max level and get to the end game. And then a couple of the activities that were locked behind that are now available for everybody to
Very
play.
cool.
So
it's just kind of funny because that game came out like 10 years ago, right? I
I
mean,
mean,
not
it feels
literally.
like that. It feels like that, but yeah, it was
Not
a while ago.
literally.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I enjoyed. You and I played a lot of the Division 1 together,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed that. We did play a little Division 2 together.
Yeah.
But I never
Not a whole
finished the
lot.
campaign on that at all.
Yeah.
Huh. I have it. I own that game. I don't know what I own it on, but I own it on something.
I'm one of those double dippers. I bought it on both PC and PS, PlayStation. So I've got it on
See,
both.
I have it on both too for some reason. Why? I don't know.
I have so many games on both that I have 4 copies of Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, but that's like your jam.
I have 4 copies of Friday the 13th also.
That's also your jam.
Yeah. All right. Well, I haven't been doing much other than giving money away to hardworking plumbers and whatnot, because that is my lot in life now that I'm a homeowner. I just dip every fucking penny I got into this little place. But I can shit freely now.
Okay.
So don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I can sit on my toilet and fire so much shit out of my ass without worrying about anything coming back. And there's something very America about that.
Oh my god. Oh my god, dude.
So yeah. But other than that, I've been working, and that's about it. Like I haven't watched any movies, I don't think. If I
I went and
have,
saw the new Bad Boys. It was pretty good.
it's good.
Off the chain, actually. Really good.
Thankfully, it's doing well because the
As
fucking
it
box
should be.
office needed it.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's what I hear. The audience scores on that are fucking through the roof, and the critics
already
scores
seen
on
it
that are
twice.
pretty good too. Oh, you seen it twice? Nice.
Yeah, me and Ryan went, and I took my mom to go see it.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I like that franchise. I really liked the third one a lot. I thought the third one was the best one.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you'll really
good
enjoy
deal.
this one.
Good deal. We got another movie, big movie coming out pretty soon. Obviously, Deadpool and Wolverine comes out.
And Venom. How dare you disrespect Venom like that?
Hey, but that doesn't come out until like October or something.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They released a trailer, and I'm ready.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it too. I do wish that he was fighting something that wasn't symbiote related, but that's fine.
Yeah, but that's just me holding out hope that Noel shows up. That's a whole different reason why I'm like, oh yay, because maybe, just maybe,
you never know. Stranger things have happened. Speaking of which, that's another show that needs to come out with their new season.
Right?
Yeah, season what? 6 or 5?
I don't know.
Then
These
whatever the
kids are
next
going to be
season
30
is.
by the time this fucking season comes out. So
Yeah, it feels like it's been a very long time.
They're gonna have to revamp the season to be them talking about what happened, so they can just use the footage that they already did have, and then like it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it'll be an animated series.
Oh, hey, let's go! I'm ready. I don't care.
Yeah,
Get some new
I'd be all right
kids.
with that. Yeah, we had me and Warren watched the games, the Summer Fest, the Summer Showcase,
Yeah,
and then we
Summer Game
watched the
Fest.
Xbox Showcase.
Yeah.
and it's pretty
Substantially
cool.
more disappointing than the first one.
Yeah, but world premiere.
Oh my god! Every
If I
one
had
of
to
them
hear
was a
them
world
say
premiere.
that one more fucking time, world premiere. Every time. Of course, I mean most of the games were. So shut the fuck up.
right.
Yeah, it was just kind of that got kind of frustrating to listen to. But there's some decent stuff coming out. Like I'm
Man.
really excited about the Blumhouse games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
that
seen
has me
that,
just-
Isaiah?
I saw a little bit of it. I didn't watch the showcase just because I just didn't have time.
It's
at the time it
exciting
came out.
because it's exciting. And here's why I think it's exciting. This is just my personal opinion. They're taking the same approach that they use with their filmmaking, and they're applying it to video games. A la, give somebody a little bit of money so they can finish their project and release it, their vision, completely untainted, unobstructed by production studios and things like that. And if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, fuck it. And that's how they make their movies. So that's why, like, every once in a while we get some turds like Fantasy Island.
Right.
And then every once in a while we get, some really, really bangers,
Mhm.
some like bona fide killer fucking awesome horror movies.
Yep.
And they're going to use that approach with video game making, and they're giving these small indie developers the money to finish their make their project, release it onto the video game world. And if it's awesome, it's awesome. If it's not, it's whatever. But it's what they wanted to make. It was their vision, and they got to see it through the way that they wanted to fucking make it.
Could you
And
imagine?
I think that there's something really cool about that.
Yeah. Could you imagine if this actually grows with the whole Blumhouse Games thing? They start dipping into their own properties to get games of their movies made. Could you imagine like a massive multiplayer Purge game?
Oh, Jesus,
oh my god! I would never play that.
Amazing.
I would
Yes,
never
you
touch
would,
that game
because I would
No,
buy
I
it for
wouldn't.
you.
No,
Like you start out with like a bat or like a machete or something like that, and you got to go around and you got to survive, but also purge.
Oh
And
my god!
I would play that game.
that would be so
Hard.
cool. I know multiplayer games like that are done to death now, but I would love something like that,
I
especially
would just be
from
screaming.
a franchise like that, because it just would fit so well.
Yeah, that would be
That
fun.
actually would probably be kind of cool. I think there's a market for it because people really do love those movies.
Well, yeah, and they love that style of game too. Well, there's a small audience that loves that style of game, as a lot of companies have found out.
Right.
Because I've been playing a little bit of Killer Clowns, as you guys know, because we played a little bit together one night. Anyway. That comment was thrown directly at Warren's face. Because I had the opportunity to get like a 7-person lobby together the other night, and Isaiah was like balls deep in Destiny too, which is fine.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm happy for him. I truly am happy for you. I'm glad. But Warren, I was like, hey man, you want to clown around? Warren was like, yeah, I can play Helldivers. Like, okay, fine. Which is obviously a great game too. But yeah, I've only got a couple things left to unlock on clowns.
I believe it.
I'm well over level 50 something. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what the level cap is on that yet. But it's a fun game. But honestly, like I'm looking at like the stats, not a lot of people playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised by that. It's a very small IP.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of people know what the Killer Clowns even are. And if you do, you're just a horror nerd. You know what I mean? Or horror or a B movie sci-fi nerd. But I was watching like, have you seen the new Killer on Chainsaw?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. His name's Hands. Already disappointed. And he moves like shit. Like the mocap on him, I don't know who they got, but he's awful. Like he moves awful, and I hate it. Aesthetically, he sticks out like a sore thumb in the fucking game because the game is beautiful. It's a very well built game. All the characters look wonderful, environments look wonderful, and then you got fucking Hands. He looks like a fucking massive Roblox character, and it's stupid looking, and I hate him. Now people are saying that his abilities are really cool and things like that, and I'm glad. That's at least a plus, you know, because he's like kind of like a direct counterbalance to one of the pseudo broken survivors. Because honestly, none of them are broken. The game is balanced. It's just boring to me. This is no reason to play the game. But yeah, that I just, oh god, aesthetically he looks fucking terrible. He looks so bad. But then they released like Maria as the survivor, which is the one that they built the whole lore around.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that the friends were going to look for, which I think is really cool. That was very bold of them to do that. But honestly, you know what that tells me?
What?
The game's done. They're done.
I mean,
that tells me that they're not going to be doing much more with that game.
I mean, if you look like it's been almost out a whole year now.
Almost.
Same thing with Evil Dead and what happened after a year of Evil Dead.
Yep.
Nobody was really playing, and it was dead.
Yep.
I could
Now with
see
this
that happening.
release, the Steam charts has gone up quite a bit. It's been almost around 1,000, which is a shitload of players for Chainsaw. that's a butt ton of players for Chainsaw, but still not a lot. That's not a lot of players.
Oh.
And Killer Clowns doesn't have very many players either. But I understand that that's a small IP. It's a fun game though. But honestly, Killer Clowns probably ain't going to be around for very long either. It which just sucks. It's a shame because it is a super fun game. And honestly, Chainsaw, it sucks that it's probably not going to be around much longer too, because I think the potential for a lot was there.
Yeah, but
it is what it is.
I think it suffers from what a lot of the games in the industry suffer from these days, which is you're not Dead by Daylight.
Exactly.
That's the problem. The first one to do it is usually the one that lasts because that's what creates all the craze. Everyone plays that one the most. Same thing with like PUBG and Fortnite, right? They were the top two. Those are probably the two longest standing battle royales outside of now probably Call of Duty, and that's just solely because of the name. Like,
and they just they can
it's
get
not
it
that
everywhere.
it's any better or did anything really different than what the other two did. It just it's the name Call of Duty. So I think that's just a trend you find where someone makes something, someone comes up with an idea, the game kind of blows up, and everyone's like, cool, this one can fit that genre, this can fit that genre, and you make it, and then you're like, oh, okay, but people are just going to go back to the other one. Like, like they'll play this for a little while, unlock all the stuff, and then go and play the other one.
Yeah.
The problem is with Dead by Daylight, there's just so much there. New players can come in and there's so much to do. And there's so much variety. Yeah, the gameplay itself as a survivor is pretty basic. You unlock generators, you open doors, you get the fuck out. But what makes it different is all the various killers and their various abilities, because you don't know, first of all, you don't entirely know which killer you're going to be even getting to begin with, anyway, I believe.
Right.
And then once you find out which killer you got, you're like, okay, I got to alter my style of play to fit this killer. You know what I mean? And that's what makes the game fresh all the time, is all the different killers that they have. And then of course the survivors all have different perks and abilities that they can unlock, and that can alter the game also. And now they're working on a new game mode. So they're Dead by Daylight's changing it up. And they also teamed up with Supermassive, and they're making a story-driven horror game that fits in the same universe as Dead by Daylight. So yeah, Dead by Daylight's not fucking going anywhere anytime soon at all. So, oh no, we lost Warren.
Oh no.
He's not interested anymore.
Yeah, no, the other thing was, with Friday, because that kind of was a hit at first, obviously,
It
because of the
was,
name.
yeah.
It was different from Dead by Daylight. Like,
Yeah.
I played a lot of Friday, but I hated Dead by Daylight. I didn't like the mechanics of Dead by Daylight. I didn't like the
Very
gameplay, of Dead by Daylight, but I absolutely loved Friday the 13th. And,
Yeah.
that got so big, but then all the legal issues happened, and that
Yeah.
fucking killed that. And now you got all these newer ones like, Evil Dead, Chainsaw, that are like, oh, maybe this will be the next Friday the 13th, or whatever the case may be. And it just hasn't happened. It's like,
Mm-mm. Last year had a lot of potential.
mhm.
That's a pretty fun game to play if you can get a group of friends together for a
Yep.
night.
But
So, all right. Well, we've talked enough about video games and plumbing issues. All right, Warren. The Fog from 1980. What are your initial thoughts on this spooky ghost leper pirate movie?
It falls under the category of not very scary, but like what's going on.
Okay.
Where like wanting to know what is actually the situation here. I've come across enough of these now that some of them aren't really scary, but they're very intriguing because you're like, what exactly is actually happening? Because you're like, is there really a fog, or is like, because there it's a catch, right? It's not just the fog killing people, because that'd be crazy. That'd be a really interesting movie to watch. But
Yeah.
but you're always like, okay, so what's the catch? What's the twist? How is this fog? What is the fog masking, if you will? Because obviously there's is there someone that's using that as a way to create this stigma, but they're really just running around killing people, or what is it? So this seemed to have a more of a supernatural aspect to it, with
Yeah.
the people who ended up being the killers being like dead for like 100 years or whatever, close to anyway. um but yeah, it wasn't a bad movie. Like, it was pretty solid, pretty straightforward, didn't really mess around, just was like, yep, this fog's here killing people, here we go. Like, um I think that they did a good job of just having each character kind of be in their space. Like, there wasn't too much crossing over and like, gotta remember this, gotta remember that. It was just kind of like, hey, this person died, we knew him. Hey, she runs a radio show through a lighthouse that allows her to see where the fog is all the time. um and then that was pretty much your movie, and then it was just like, who's gonna be the victims and can they stop it? And it wasn't too much, wasn't over the top, it was just very solid, got the point across, and then let's go home. So I thought it was a good movie.
Good. Deal. I'm glad you liked it. Isaiah, do you remember your first experience with the fog?
Um, first time I saw it was I saw it later. I
Okay.
was probably my early 20s, so we're talking early 2000s
Oh, wow.
is
Okay.
the first time I'd seen the movie. Or late teens, early 20s. It was for sure after high school. Because I had obviously gotten into a lot of the other John Carpenter movies, like obviously Halloween, The Thing, the Escape movies, so New York and
Right, New York and LA.
LA. And then I started getting into his other like apocalyptic movies, so The Mouth of Madness and
Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness.
The
And
Thing.
then yeah, so I kind of just kept growing from there for my exposure to Carpenter movies, and then I saw The Fog, and I liked it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie, but it's a solid movie, and I do enjoy watching it every once in a while. But it's not one I go back to every year. It'll be once every couple of years I'll pop this and watch it. So
There you go. My history with the movie is different than your guys's. This is the first horror movie I remember watching. I don't know if it's the first one I actually watched, but this is the first horror movie that I remember watching. And I was very young. I was probably like 7, 6 or 7 or some shit.
okay.
I want to say we lived in Germany at the time. And because I lived in Germany for several years when my dad was in the military and stationed over there. And I remember watching this movie. And this probably would be the movie that turned me into the horror fucking nerd that I am right now.
Okay.
And I fucking love it to this day. I think it's a dope ass fucking crazy cool simple ghost story. And it's super effective. The music in it's fucking killer. It's got an awesome cast of, at the time, kind of unknowns that would go on to do a lot in Hollywood with, obviously the biggest being Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
But Hal Holbrook, he had a hell of a career. Tom Atkins with the best fucking facial hair in the business. Not evidenced in this movie because it's a weird, clean-shaven Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
Adrienne Barbeau,
Of course. Yep.
a scream queen legend, who was at the time, she was actually married to John Carpenter at the time when they were doing this, because they were married for like 5 or 6 years.
Yep.
But she did lots of stuff with John Carpenter. She was in Escape from New York. And she was the voice in The Thing,
yep.
the only female. Yeah. But yeah, totally rad movie that almost didn't work at all. When he made the movie, this was part of a 2-picture deal that he had signed with Avco Embassy, the other being Escape from New York. And when he had filmed the movie and when he had was watching the final edit, he was just like, "Oh fuck, this movie doesn't work. It doesn't work at all." And he had to. He literally said it was just like, it was terrible. I had a movie that didn't work and I knew it. So he went back and he added the prologue with Mr. Macon, John Houseman, the Donald Pleasance character that we thought would be great in that role.
Great value.
Telling the ghost stories. Yeah. So they had Mr. Macon telling the ghost stories to the children and him telling the ghost story that is essentially the backbone that the whole film is built around. He also added other new scenes and reshots, and then he changed the order of the way you kind of saw stuff. So yeah, and then he added like some other scare shit, like the sequence when Jamie Lee Curtis is in the hospital and the corpse walks up to her, and falls. But yeah, the movie almost didn't work, and it was kind of a mess when he had first watched the rough cut. Thankfully, he went back, because you really think about it, it's like, honestly, I don't know how well the movie would have worked without some of that exposition that we got at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
Because he tells the whole story to those kids. And yeah, we hear we hear the story again throughout the movie when Father Malone is reading in his grandfather's diary about what happened 100 years prior. But I don't know how effective that would have been if we hadn't had that opening prologue with those kids, with him talking to the kids and telling the kids that story.
Yeah, that really
So
sets the stage. Yeah,
it it does.
I
It
could see
kicks
how
the
that
movie
really
off really well.
makes the movie.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I fucking love this movie. I do. I'm an Uber fan. I have yeah. I bought a European 4K of it
Oh yeah,
because they didn't have one here yet, and thankfully the 4K plays in any region of 4K
yep.
Blu-ray player, but the DVD that it came with doesn't play here. It doesn't play here at all, or the standard Blu-ray.
Yeah,
It doesn't play here at all. So yeah, but yeah, I was like, oh, fucking 4K. So I ordered it from like England
yeah.
or
I
some
I
shit.
I actually didn't own it until I bought the steel book version.
That's a good looking steelbook.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
That's a good looking fucking steelbook, bro. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And so yeah,
That's
I got that.
awesome.
So I've got that on 4K and Blu-rays now. So
Nice.
which I needed for my collection because I don't know why I never bought it before because I would always just watch it online, whether it was available through a streaming service or other means.
Yeah.
You know, so
It was a long time where we couldn't buy it anywhere.
yeah,
I luckily I bought it on my Fandango account, which like Voodoo, became
right.
Fandango.
Yep.
I bought it like ages ago, and then I a friend of mine went to go buy it, and he couldn't find a digital copy of it anywhere. There was like a solid year or two where you couldn't buy it on physical unless it was like a used copy, or you couldn't buy it digitally at all. And I think they were gearing up for like a 40th anniversary or some shit.
Yeah, that's like
So
the 28 days and 28 weeks later movies now. You can't buy
oh
them on
yeah,
physical and you can't buy them on digital anymore.
yeah.
Because
Rights are fucking weird.
I hate it. That's why I hate these fucking companies. I
I
fucking
do
hate them.
too. Rights are fucking weird.
Yeah.
All right. Any scenes that you want to talk about, Warren? Any characters? Anything stick out in your head that
I
as
mean,
being memorable?
besides the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis's character was just a part of this after sleeping with Atkins for one night, was like, yeah, I'll go wherever you go.
That Tom Atkins dick, from what I hear.
Jesus, not your experience, thank God.
Nah.
But no, on a serious note, they didn't show a whole lot of what was being done to the people. I think outside of maybe the opening sequence when they got really into like, hey, these guys are really laying in on these people. But it just, like I say, it focused a lot more on the storytelling than it did actually any of the actual killing.
Yep.
Which is fine. If you're just trying to tell the story, it's a horror film in its own right, in its own way, if you will. But it wasn't reliant on like we're getting ready to kill somebody, so that needs to carry our movie. It was just more about what was actually happening. Like I said, it makes you more intrigued about what's going on, why it's happening, versus needing the kills to keep you invested in the movie. So as far as kills go, like I would say the first one, because they just really
Yeah,
jumped those guys.
you had a little reaction to the sword,
Yep.
and then you had a little reaction to the
The
eye
weather
gouge.
dude, the
Oh
weather
yeah.
dude too, like that, because that just caught me off guard because he was just like chilling, then he was just like in your neck, and I was like, okay, we're just gonna kill that guy. But yeah, there's a sword situation, some eye gouging, some shoulder slashing that takes place a couple of times in this. That you know, but No, I mean, other than that, it was pretty chill. I mean, the grandma deserved to get. I keep calling her the grandma.
You
I guess
keep
she was a
calling her grandma.
babysitter.
She was just a babysitter,
Well, either way, she deserved what she got because she kept saying that boy's name that way, and it was
yeah.
making me miserable.
Andy.
Andy.
And
I was like, ma'am, you can go.
you know, Andy asks his mom for something early in the movie. He asks her for a stomach pounder and a Coke. And no one knows what that is. It doesn't exist. It's literally something that John Carpenter just made up. But it needs to be a thing. So if I ever open a restaurant, which obviously will never happen, maybe never. But I'm gonna put something on my menu, a stomach pounder and a Coke, and I'm just gonna figure out something because that sounds like that's something that needs to exist. A stomach pounder.
That just sounds like something just super greasy, just super
Right?
heavy, and just like drenched in like I don't know.
Like like normal people would probably call,
like it's
like you
something
ever
that's
heard,
gonna give you the shits later.
yeah, yes, the stomach pounder, the booty emptier. But stomach pounder needs to be a thing, and it needs to be invented, and somebody needs to put it on their fucking menu right now. But yeah, like there's also some pretty cool shit. A lot of the characters are named after people that he'd worked with.
Yep.
The weatherman is Dan O'Bannon, who wrote and directed Return of the Living Dead, which we showed Warren a few weeks ago, or a few episodes ago, whatever. He also worked with John Carpenter on their film Dark Star, which was like a student film that you can go rent it. Like it's out, you can see it. It's like a sci-fi comedy movie. Apparently, it's really good. I've actually never seen that.
I don't think I've seen that either.
But
Tom
Mrs.
Atkins
Cobert's
was
yeah,
Nick Castle.
Yeah, Nick Castle. Nick Castle is the gentleman that played the Shape in the first Halloween movie.
Yep.
He also worked on a lot of John Carpenter's films, and he directed the movie Major Pain. So he's a legend.
And Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the Menace. Yep. He also directed The Last Starfighter. We go on. He's actually done a lot.
He's done a lot of work.
Yeah, and he's a really sweet guy. I got to meet him at Texas Frightmare. Really sweet dude. Mrs. Coberts is a reference to Richard Coberts, who produced a made-for-TV film that John Carpenter directed, and he also came back and I think he produced Christine. Richard Coberts did.
Okay.
But yeah, there's like all sorts of little trivia there. Yeah, he names his characters after people he actually like knows and shit. So pretty good stuff. A lot of returning faces for Carpenter fans in this. From Assault on Precinct 13, there was 3 people because Nancy Kyes, Charles Cyphers, and I can't remember his damn name, but the coroner.
Yeah.
They were all 3 of those were in Assault on Precinct 13, which is a fantastic fucking movie.
I love that movie.
It's really so good. And you know what? The remake of that is not bad.
No, I didn't mind the remake.
It's actually pretty good.
Fucking Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne and Ethan Hawke. Fuck yeah, sign me the fuck up. And it's pretty good. It stands on its own, which is what I like about it. It stands on its own. It doesn't rely too much on the original film. But yeah, a lot of familiar John Carpenter faces and voices and stuff. It's a fun movie, man. Yeah. I really, really love this movie. I think it's a really, really cool, just little spooky ghost story. And Warren, you really mentioned it. It's really one of those movies that they tell you the story, and they tell you to you, and there's visual, obviously, it's a fucking movie. We're watching it, but visually they tell you. But yeah, they don't show like a whole lot of fucking gore or anything like that. They rely on the strength of the story to scare you. And obviously, if this was 1980 and we were watching it and we hadn't seen some of the shit we'd seen, it'd probably be much more impactful for people back then. Sometimes movies just don't age well, man. you know, at least in certain regards. Because I think this movie is aged really well, but not if you're new to watching horror. Because I don't think any old horror movies, for the most part, have aged that well. Because I think that we see scarier shit in real life.
The standard of what
Yeah.
it would take to scare somebody
Yeah,
now.
it's so much different.
I mean, you look at when we showed Warren Friday the 13th, you know, for us, that's a tame movie, but he was kind of freaking out a little bit watching Friday the
Yeah.
13th.
Yeah, we did.
know?
We said, we're going to give you a break and we're going to watch Friday the 13th. And that movie freaked him the fuck out.
Well, like, I believe Jordan Peele said it best, which was that sometimes, and I think it plays to this movie a lot more than what most movies back then probably do, but that sometimes it's better to what's scarier is the mystery of what is as opposed to actually knowing what is.
Mm-hmm.
And so in a movie like this, The Fog, for you to spend a lot more time not really knowing what's happening, but that something is happening. You don't know what's killing people, just that something is killing people. Is it a person? Is it an entity? Whatever. Back then, that was probably real, like far more scarier than like seeing someone get ripped to shreds. Like he said, just the sounds that were implied when they took the babysitter out there and basically ripped her apart. Um, you don't know what actually happened to her, and I think that's probably more scary than seeing it visually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the psyche, because your brain can take you a lot further than just showing it to you. Because then now it knows it has a stopping point. Whereas if you never
Yeah.
see it and it's just implied, you might just be walking down the street one day and be like, "Man, I wonder if they pulled her eye out, if they scalped her head." Like, fucking weird shit. But, like, in those moments, you go a lot further than probably what it actually was.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of movies today could benefit from that more because
I
I think
agree.
they try to throw
Yeah.
so much at you that you become numb to it. So then, like, when they're like, "Come see our new movie where there's this hand," and then they touch the hand, and then her eyes roll in the back of her head, and you're like,
That's so good, by the way.
yeah, I've seen this numerous times already. Like you did this in the last movie last year. Like, but like a movie where, and even just a fresh take, like that new movie that Isaiah went to go see,
Oh, yeah.
where it's all from the killer's perspective, but there's not a whole lot of sound in it. Like just do something different that creates a level of paranoia. I don't need to watch somebody's head get sliced off all the time to be afraid.
Right.
I love the A Quiet Place movies, and I wouldn't even say that those are scary, but the idea of that is horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a terrifying concept. That imagine if you went that whole first movie of them implying what the creature was, but you never see it,
Mhm.
and you never really experience it until closer to the end, where something happens, and then here they come. That is more terrifying, where they're in a tunnel and you hear the sounds and you hear it creeping and dragging its nails against the piping or whatever. Like that can always to me be more terrifying than just one showing up and ripping somebody to shreds. And you're like, well, okay, now I know what it looks like, I know what it does. But like not knowing is always to me gonna be scarier than, unless it's a found footage movie, then that's just scary all the way across the board. But I think that this kind of movie excelled in that, right? That like this fog, you don't really know what it is, what it's doing, why it's here. Like you said, they explain it and it gives you a little context, but you still don't really know until you start to get towards the end of the movie.
I like it. Well put. Isaiah, got anything you want to add?
No, I think you summed it up perfectly.
Yeah, very well. Look at you, man. I fucking knew I was gonna make a horror movie fan out of him.
That's not what happened. That is
That's
not
exactly
what
what happened.
None of what
We're
I
gonna
just
edit
said
it, and I'm gonna change the
implied
voice
that
and
I
say, "That's
enjoy these
exactly what
movies.
happened, Brian."
Not a single thing I said. And that's what you chose to take from that. That is
That's exactly
incredible.
what I chose to
That is
take.
incredible.
They implied perception. Okay.
Could be walking around all week like, man, I did it. I nailed it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
All right, Isaiah. We have Warren. We have a movie for you, a new
Yep.
movie for next episode. Isaiah picked the movie. Isaiah, would you like to introduce the movie?
Yep. So, when this episode releases, we're kind of in the deep part of summer where it's the hottest. So I figured we would take you to a place in the desert. So for our next episode, we're going to be showing you the Wes Craven classic, The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, why?
Because
nothing's scarier than on a family vacation and being caught up and stranded in the middle of the desert with no help.
good times.
And that's all I'll say about it.
I could think of at least 12 other things that are better than that. But
just 12.
Just
12. Just 12.
12. Yeah, just 12. There's only 12 things that are better than that, dude.
Yeah, that's clearly number 13.
When you really think about it that way, it's really not the worst thing. yeah, there's only 12 things that are actually better than that. So I mean,
okay,
right.
well, I'll gear myself up for that. I will not be eating prior
I gotta
to
ask
that.
the question: Have you seen The Hills Have Eyes? Warren?
No.
Okay.
Good.
He's gonna lie one day.
There's like a
and be
chance I may have
"Yes."
seen like something, but that was like so long ago. Like not the movie, like not sit down and watched it, but just like somebody just had it on one day, come over and boom, there it was. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And they were like this, and I was like I was like, yeah, that's enough for me. I'm gonna go ahead and continue onward. So but no, I haven't seen it. I've heard the legend of these movies.
It's a classic.
But
They did a pretty damn fucking good remake of this too. Actually,
That's why I asked if we should show the original or the remake, because I really like the remake a lot.
The remake's really fucking good. Yeah,
it's really intense.
Yeah, we'll have a good time showing him that one. All right, guys. Anything that you guys want to add before we get out of here, other than the normal? Hey, make sure you're checking out the YouTube videos that Isaiah is busting his ass on. Please make sure you guys are doing that, and like, share, and subscribe, and do all those good things. Anything else you guys want to add before we slide out of here?
Nope.
No. Oh,
well, I'll thank you guys for your support, and these guys don't fucking care, but I'll thank you guys. Look, I gave you guys the opportunity to thank our listeners and viewers, and you guys are like, nope.
No,
right.
No. We like them, we care, but you can't do that. You can't be like, you guys got anything else you want to add, and then take us and then step over us and be like, well, I like you guys. They clearly don't like you.
Implied perception.
No, that's exactly what you did.
It's implied.
Oh my god.
I love you guys. All right, we all love you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and please come back and we'll check you guys, and we'll hang out, do all the cool things, and catch y'all on the next episode.